All right, let's talk about Spencer Rattler. So, obviously, there were 6 quarterbacks taken in the first 12 picks. So, usually, when you're the 7th quarterback off the board, there isn't a ton of hype. But when the first 6 are taken so early on, there then becomes questions of, well, who's someone else that maybe could be a good player who just isn't considered that top pick? And most people's pick for that guy was Spencer Rattler. There was a point a while back when people were wondering if Rattler could be a potential first overall pick. A few years ago, that didn't quite work out, but he had a good year of South Carolina his last year in college, and we want to see how he can play for the Saints. So let's get into it, starting off with the play you see on the screen. How well did he play? Can he be a backup, because he's working to earn that job against Jake Hayner, right? But then can he potentially become more than that? Be a backup for a while, eventually earn a starting job, or have injuries and have to play, start and do something with it. Well, let's get into it. You see this concept on the screen. The way it's going to work is it's a man coverage play, and you see the routes that he wants to look towards. However, when Rattler looks in that direction, it's not really open. So this is a dangerous situation. It's 3rd down and goal, and I think a lot of young quarterbacks might just say, well, let me take a chance. Again, trying to win a starting job, right? Can you win a starting job by not scoring touchdowns? Well, you certainly can't win a starting job if you make poor decisions. Rattler, not going to make a poor decision here. Instead, he decides to, get outside the pocket, which good job to get outside the pocket. And right here, again, I'm sure he would love to throw the ball if he could. He is looking to throw. There just isn't really an option, but if he tries to run, there's a Cardinals player who could come over and make a play. However, watch Rattler's mobility here, and for one thing, I actually like that he doesn't reach the football out. I think that's a good thing. You don't want to fumble the ball here, because it is 3rd down. You will have an extra down. If you get tackled at the 1, well, now you can try on 4th down and goal to score. On top of this, he was ruled down at the 1, but after a replay, it was eventually ruled that he actually scored on this play. This was a touchdown. So, yeah, really good stuff by Rattler, in my opinion. This was very good. Like, for the mobility, this is another one. It's kind of interesting. I'm highlighting one specific Arizona defensive lineman because watch what he's going to do. When Rattler takes the snap, this defensive lineman is shoving the guard back in Rattler's area. Okay, this is trouble, right? Well, watch Rattler be able to navigate this pretty well. He only gains a few yards, but that should have been a sack. Turning what should have been a loss of 6 into a gain of 4. Okay, that's a 10-yard difference. It's just in a different way than your usual 10-yard gains happen to be. So that's certainly good by Rattler, I would say. And as for just the passing, I thought he was pretty good out there. I really did. It was sometimes just more simple stuff. Like this one, it's going to be a zone coverage concept that the Cardinals are in. Rattler's just throwing over the middle. Okay, simple enough. When this play begins, that's where Rattler's going to look. That's where he's going to fire. And you see right here, the ball is caught. Definitely a big window, but still, you're running the offense, right? It's definitely one of those, this is certainly a preseason play. You're getting big windows, but still important to hit the layups, right? Also this one, kind of a similar thing where it's going to be a zone coverage play. It's a 3rd down and 2, though, so this is an important play in the game. Because, again, it's a game that doesn't matter, but it's an important play in the game that doesn't matter. Because if you don't convert here, you're going to have to go for it on 4th. Probably. You have 3 timeouts left, but I can't imagine you'd punt here. You have to go for it on 4th. If you don't get it, you almost certainly lose the game. So, gotta convert here. And when this play begins, you see how there's a window, for sure. Like I said, hitting the layups, definitely Arizona playing a bit too off here, so you got an opportunity to get this completion. And for Rattler, he gets the ball over there in a hurry. They're able to pick up the completion. Again, good job by everyone involved. It's not the highest degree of difficulty plays, but, he's still making them. And then we also saw him making some higher degree of difficulty plays. Something like this, where it's going to be a, cover 1 play, which you see a lot of in preseason. I don't know if Arizona would ever do this if this was a regular season game, of leaving the sidelines this open potentially when all that the Saints need is a field goal to win the game, right? Or maybe they would. Maybe they want to take away the middle. I don't know. But either way, definitely something that Rattler is going to look towards if a one-on-one matchup here. So when he takes the snap, he looks over, and right here, it's interesting, right? Because this isn't necessarily a play that is wide open. The Cardinals defender is doing a pretty good job at staying further deep. So if you just bomb this one towards the end zone, not necessarily going to be a great situation. So what is Rattler going to do instead? He's actually going to do the right thing here. You see him go for more of a back shoulder throw. Wasn't quite able to be complete. To me, I think, I wouldn't say that was a bad play, though, by Rattler, though. I think he put that in a good spot. Was hoping his receiver could make a good catch. Didn't quite work out that way. But to me, that was pretty good. And then going over here, similar spot in the game, essentially. You're trying to get some more yards, make it for an easier field goal. You have, once again, similar one-on-one matchup. But this time, they're going to be able to hit on it. Again, really good job going for the back shoulder. They get the completion, get inside of 20. This is good stuff by Rattler. So again, not all the throws were a high degree of difficulty. Some of them were hitting layups for sure. But if you're hitting the tough throws and hitting the layups and doing some nice stuff, with your legs, that's pretty good in my opinion. So what do I make of all of this then? I thought he came in and played pretty well. Granted, again, it's the second half of a preseason game. You're not exactly going up against Hall of Fame level talent. You're just not. But I think he did some nice things here and did some things you don't necessarily expect a young quarterback to do. Granted, he is an older rookie quarterback, so that is playing a role. But still, that back shoulder stuff is good and not something you typically expect from a young player. The finding ways to make something happen after a play breaks down is good, and not every player can give that to you. So he's essentially passed every test he's had. Now, did he do something so crazy that you're like, you know what, maybe this guy should definitely be our backup? Maybe he has starter potential. We didn't see any of that. Not to say that can't happen someday. We just didn't see any of that. So again, you are going to get more playing time if you're Spencer Rattler these next couple of games. I'm sure he's going to try and do what he can with these next couple of games to get as much playing time, show what he can on tape. Because again, the goal for Rattler is not necessarily to become a day one starter, right? I mean, that's just not happening. You have Derek Carr, even if he's awesome, it's unless there's an injury, it's not happening. But the goal is show that you can be a capable backup. Maybe you get in this year if there is an injury, and if you don't, then hope that you can, next preseason put some more good stuff on tape. Maybe a team has an injury and they say, let's get this guy, bring him in, see if he can start, right? Like how the Vikings started acquiring quarterbacks after Kirk Cousins got hurt last year. Stuff like that might be it's a way you can get some potential starting time is by playing well here. He played well here, so first test has been passed in my opinion. So those are my thoughts on Rattler. If you want to hear my thoughts on movies, I have a movie channel. Check out the link in the description below, Jackson Kruger Movies. I have fun stuff on there. I enjoy making those videos as much as I enjoy making these videos. Let me know your thoughts on Spencer Rattler in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.